Okay, so the second kind of geometry problem that you might run into this year are problems like this example 2. And this example 2 corresponds directly with practice problem number 2 down below. So use that to help you. So the length of each side of a square is increased by 5 inches. The new perimeter of the increased square is now 56 inches. Write and solve an equation to find the original length of each side of the square. So per usual, I'm going to start off with my let statement. The question is asking me to find the original length of each side. So we are going to let x equal the original side length of the square. All right, so again, in something like this, if you are stuck and you're not sure what to do next, always go to a picture or a diagram of some sort. So we have a square. We're talking about a square where we know all sides are equal, right? That's a fact of a square that we know. And if we didn't know that, we could very easily look it up on the internet. We also know that it has a new perimeter of 56 inches. Write and solve an equation to find the original length of each side of the square. Okay, so if this diagram here is our original square to start off, x would be the side of each side, of the length of each side, I mean. So we can label each side with an x. So the problem tells us that we are then doing something to each side of the square. Each side of the square is being increased by 5 inches. Increased by 5 inches. So that means we would not just be having x increased by 5 is plus 5. Plus 5. We're taking the side of each square, we're adding 5 to it. So each side of the square isn't going to be labeled x, it's going to be labeled x plus 5. 4 times for each side of the square. So now I know the fact I haven't used yet is that piece about the perimeter being 56 inches. And that's the perimeter of the new square. The perimeter of the old square would just be x plus x plus x plus x, which they don't tell us about. So the perimeter of the new square, of this new bigger square, after it's been increased by 5, is 56. We know from our notes from above that perimeter means to add our sides together. So if I add all these sides together, it should give me that 56 that I can make an equation with. So I'm going to take x plus 5 plus x plus 5 plus x plus 5 plus x plus 5 is equal to 56. And you might be sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, I do not want to be writing this out 4 times each. There's got to be an easier way to do this, and there absolutely is. You are taking that x plus 5 and adding it how many times? And we use what operation to represent repeated addition? That would be multiplication. So either of these equations are the same. Same equation, just written differently. And it's important to realize that because you can set this up in different ways if we bring down the equals 56. So now, in this equation that we've got to solve here, this is a two-step equation that has some distribution involved. So first things first, I'm going to distribute that 4 to both pieces, leaving me with 4x plus 20 is equal to 56. And I'm going to take this opportunity to point out that if I had added x plus x plus x plus x, that would get me my 4x. And 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 would have given me that 20. So either way you set this up, whether you can write it all out or you think to turn it into that distribution, either way it's going to get you the right answer. So we want to get the 4x by itself by getting rid of that positive 20. So we're going to go ahead and subtract 20 to both sides. The 4x carries down, and my positive 20 and negative 20 cancel out. 56 minus 20 is 36 on the other side. Getting rid of that multiplication of 4 by doing division. And 36 divided by 4 is 9. 9 times 4 is 36. So, making sure that we've answered the question, to find the original length of each side, x was the original length of each side. So, let's go ahead. I don't know, for some reason I like to use brown to answer the questions. The original length of each side is 9 inches. And we could find the perimeter of the original square would be equal to 9 times 4, which would be equal to 36. Boom. Which makes sense because we increased it by 5 inches on each side, which would be a total of 20, and 36 plus the 20 gives me that 56 as our perimeter. So that's it. That's all for example 2.